Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Island 2 Final Countdown. This is episode 10. Next week is the semifinals and then the finals. We are coming in for a landing. This is very exciting.
Yeah.
The episodes are getting longer.
They sure are.
They sure are. This one was so long. I think these next two we're also going to have to
We're gonna have to
up.
split up. Be like, let's take a break. I think I'm just not a binger.
Well, it's hard to binge. It would be easy to binge if I was laying down on the couch just watching things.
Because I'm like,
ooh, make sure you're tucked. You know what I mean? I'm always tucked on camera.
we're also filming this. This is our first one back from KCON.
Oh, huge. Okay, we have to talk about this.
We did not see them because they were not there.
They did not attend
However,
KCON.
they had their own little booth in the middle of the entire...
The exact middle of the floor at KCON. Did my best to avoid spoilers. I know one official member in this group. I won't say who it is. When we get to the finale, I'll say who I already know when we start the episode. Blah, blah, blah. But I know one official member of this group. That is the only person one of the 6. That's the only person I know. Because at one point, I glanced across the room.
He saw her face.
And her big old face was on the screen.
Because they have a giant screen.
It's a giant
screen
12-foot wall LED that was like scrolling through the members. And I just happened to lock eyes with none other than one of the girls.
Miss Diva.
And I was like, oh. But
you weren't surprised.
I wasn't surprised that person made it.
Just tidbits of information from Twitter, from everything that I'm like, oh, I think doing the number in my head, I'm like, oh, that is 6 people. So,
well, there's also people who leave comments on these videos, and I will say we have really not gotten spoilers, which is great.
No one's spoiling,
but I think some people still don't know that even if they say, I'm really hoping for more for her in the future, I think that's telling me something.
Yeah,
you know,
she's done.
But maybe it's a full redirect.
That's true.
Maybe it's just,
it's a red herring.
It's a red herring. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna try and they were handing out little Nasuri keychains.
I know.
Like little plush Nasuri keychains. But in order to get it, you had to like do a lucky draw or whatever. No, you had to write a letter to a member. Mm-hmm. And then you got a Nasuri and a little photo card of the person you're writing to. I did ask a beret to do it, and when they went, they came back and was like, they're gone.
They're out of... Yeah.
Nasuri's out of here.
And that's lovely, but that's not the Nasuri I want.
Yes, you want a big...
There were 2 plushes I wanted to walk out of KCON with. Well, really 10.
Yeah.
I wanted to walk out of all
with 9 Zeronis and 1 Nasuri.
And 1 Nasuri. And they had no Zeroni
no Zeroni plushes.
None. Zero.
The Line Friends guy was like, well, yeah. The Line Friends guy was like, yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, then you'll be able to see, like, because we are planning to do, like, North American releases of the Zeroni. And we were like... You don't think we already...
think I'm at KCON and I don't follow Line Friends on Instagram? Do you think I just ended up here by osmosis?
Like I just fell. I was like, oh.
Do you think I just fell out of a coconut tree? Is that what you think, sir? Because, sir, I exist in the context of all in which I live and what Line Friends came before me.
They did do a little on the M Countdown day that was on the CW. They were like survival, like a little survival show montage
package, yeah.
And there was a little bit of Iland too.
Was there?
Yeah,
because I looked away.
Yeah, because we were both like, and then our beret Rocky was like, "Okay, you're good, girl."
yeah. Thanks, girl.
Thanks, girl.
We're on episode 10. We are going to finish the scores of episode 9, and then we're gonna do the entirety of the next challenge, including all the scoring.
Yes, they reveal all the scores.
Which is great.
Because the semifinals next week will be a live episode.
Yes. And then you and I are going to do a 6.
Yes.
And then we're going to do
today and then later.
And then next week. And then that's it. And then
we'll be right.
And then it's whatever the 6 really is.
Yeah.
We watched this before we went to KCON. We watched it like a week before we went to KCON.
What do you mean?
Episode 9.
Oh, episode 9, yes, was before KCON.
So it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so what happened in the last episode? So here are the scores for the 4 girls from the producers. Sebi got 90, Chunghan got 85, Yuju got 73, and Coco got 93.
I think that's right. From
I
Love
think
Sick
that's
Girls.
right too.
I think that's the order of the strongest to weakest.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, Coco has a great moment where she's like, I finally beat Sebi. Because, like,
I guess Sabi has
keeps like, they keep going up against
Yeah.
each other in some capacity, and Sebi keeps winning. It's funny because the show kind of has multiple rivalries going on.
again.
It's funny because the show has multiple rivalries going on at the same time, but they are all in different levels.
Yeah.
Like the Jiyoon Junghan is its own
Yes,
full
they have
narrative
their
that
own-
has been the whole show.
They have their own levels of complexity that are not the same. So it doesn't feel like we're just
Sebi
repeating.
Coco is very
rivalry.
friendly.
Friendly rivalry. Juwon Sarang
Died. That one
They're
died.
pretty
That
much
died on the
dead.
vine. That doesn't.
They would literally were like, "Oh, I don't think we need to put Sarang up against Juwon because Sarang's doing it on her own. she's
Sarang, yeah, so it's really Sarang versus Sarang at
Yeah.
this point on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about Sarang in this episode, but there's a lot of, now that we are this
shifts.
far in the show is very clearly deciding who they want to focus on
Yeah, I
heading into the
know.
finale. So that leaves, this is the official scores. Now that all the scores are revealed, these are the official scores. 12 is Juwon, 11 Mai, Yuju, Sujung, Junghan, 7 is Sarang. The official 6, if they debuted today, Gyuri, Fuko, Jiyoon, Sebi, Coco, and Jimin is number 1.
Are those the top 6 performers of that challenge?
I think those are probably the top 6 of the challenge.
I think so.
I don't think Juwon should be 12th.
I don't think Juwon was the worst.
I don't think Juwon was the worst at all.
Yuju was the worst. But worst in like a...
But also, like,
don't
this
stand
episode, I
out,
feel
like-
like she fully comes back from
I
this.
know, totally.
Yeah, I mean, the girls are so strong at this point.
But it's tough because now they're including people voting. So like that brings in like there's some people with built-in fan bases.
Right.
There's some people who have been swayed by the first part
half of the show.
and so they have like naturally became fans of girls already. So
Right.
yeah.
So these are the official scores. Fine. Now we're going to head into the next test, which is the main position test.
Mm-hmm.
So the main position test, there's 4 groups that will be performing. First position that's going to perform is main vocal, and they've picked Jiyoon and Junghan, and they will be singing If I Were a Boy by Beyonce Sunbaenim.
What?
This is now the second song in this show where I was like,
Huh?
is this for millennial gay men?
Yeah. Are they building this group for like the 30-year-old gay men who like
What?
went through I Am Sasha Fierce, who went through like early Gaga?
They chose Chromatica Gaga, but I
But-
still feel like Gaga's fan base is primarily millennial.
Yes.
Because that's when she kind
That's
of
when
exploded.
rose to fame. But like Chromatica
Rose to the Fame Monster.
yeah, honey. Pause up. But like Chromatica Gaga was such a moment for her and for K-pop, first of all, because like Sour Candy was Chromatica.
Sure, yeah.
But also like because it
I
came.
always forget that that's the same album.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I know it feels like a million years ago because it was
Yeah.
right at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like Rain on Me came when everyone had to get shut down and people were like, if you have the chance to run out in the rain, do so. But
So
If
this is-
I Were a Boy is crazy. Let's just say this. Singing If I Were a Boy is crazy.
It's insane.
In 2023, or 24.
In 2024, it is crazy to be
it's crazy
singing
to
If I
sing
Were a
If
Boy,
I Were a
which
Boy.
I can't even tell you the last time Beyonce herself thought about this song.
Yeah.
She doesn't sing it. She never performs it. Like, I'm not saying it's like a bad Beyonce song.
No, it's not a bad
obviously,
Beyonce song at all.
But it's
I mean,
just
it's
so
iconic.
weird for that's the poll.
That's the poll.
What would you, if you were like, I'm going to choose a Beyonce song for them to sing, what would you choose?
If it was vocals,
for
vocals.
main vocal. But it can't be something that you can't do
like a signature Beyonce sound. So it's like, oh yeah, you can't
do Love on Top. Like they're not going to do 4 key changes. Right.
I mean, when I think of, okay, this is old, but when I think of like peak Beyonce vocals, it's Dangerously in Love. Like early, like it's just like full of the Beyonce runs, you know, but it's still like very deep R&B. But I mean, I do love
I mean, it's more ballad energy, so I like that for sure. It's an R&B ballad.
Yeah. I mean, I think Halo is the obvious choice.
Halo is, probably the more obvious choice.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had sang Ave Maria, I would have screamed. I almost screamed for If I Were a Boy, but Ave Maria, I would have died.
Oh my God.
But just because it would have been so out of left field.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been listened because they know that the Philippines would rise up. Like, you can't sing the Philippines national anthem.
Not the national anthem.
Not the national anthem on Iland 2.
Not on Iland 2.
That video was so crazy because it was all black and white. And
all those videos were. That whole album.
The Sasha Fierce era.
Yeah. She did all black and white videos. Yeah. I am Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce.
It's so crazy to watch them sing a song in which I could sing along to.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because like obviously we're not native Korean speakers, so even if I know the songs they're singing, I would not be able to like.
I wouldn't be able to like sing along. But I could not help but sing along when we were watching it.
Yes.
And the reaction. Drink beer with the guys and chase after girls. Come on.
Drink beer with the guys. Come on, Jongin. Okay. Main rap is next. It's Coco and Yuju, and they're doing "Spicy" by CL. I did not know this song.
I didn't know the song either.
But it was. Well, we'll talk about that performance. Main dancer is Sujung Juwon, Mai, Jimin, and Sabi.
Yes,
and they're doing "Money" by Lisa.
Jump some money.
It's not my favorite Lisa solo, but
no, I mean,
do like all of Lisa's solos.
Yes, yeah. I mean, nothing. Sorry, La Lisa.
Oh my God, I can't. It's so good. And then all-rounder is the remaining 3, Gyuri, Fuko, and Sarang.
I know, everyone was like, is this the cute position? Like, what the fuck position are you? Main cutie.
4 Walls by FX.
Yes.
Great song.
This is song. Our sister Haruto's favorite song.
Wild choice for the 3 of them.
Not really an all-roundery type song, though.
I don't even know what all-rounder means anymore. I don't even know what all-rounder means.
It's just like idol. It just means like main, like an idol.
I don't think they know what it means. I mean, like genuinely, they're doing, I don't know. I was like, okay. Because
I feel like if you were to do a quote unquote all-rounder song, you would do like the Ice One songs. Or like an early IVE song. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like peak girl group. That's not like...
Yeah. I definitely don't think I would say 4 Walls is all-rounder.
4 Walls feels conceptual. That's why they were kind of like, they got that feedback of like, you're not understanding a song. And it's like, but what's the challenge?
Yeah. It's just do it well.
Isn't that what all-rounder is? Yeah. Again,
I mean, all the challenges are just do it well at the end of the day. Just perform it well.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I have some thoughts about this number too.
Yeah. Okay, so all-rounder performs first, so we'll talk about everything that happened to them up until this point. Fuko is position 1, Gyuri is 2, Sarang is 3.
Fuko's the leader 2. Whoever's the highest
ranked is the leader of that team. And Sarang has lost her confidence in part 2 of the show.
Know.
And
it's so
frustrating to watch because she's so talented.
And like a light on that stage. Mm-hmm. Like I do like this grouping of these 3 because I think they have the potential to be like, they're the most joyous on stage. Mm-hmm. Like when Gyuri performs, she loves to perform.
Yes, it's very evident. And she's very natural.
Yeah, she's very natural. Sarang, I think, evokes that, but you can see in her eyes that she's thinking about the professional or like the perfectionist.
Yes.
And then
she has the dancer problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fuko.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm about to make enemies because I think Fuko is so incredibly talented.
Yes.
I think she like has it.
She is so charming in real life. Like
I love that she always makes these faces.
She has the best attitude.
She like whenever she reacts to something, she's like
she's so
like she looks like
genuine.
a chipmunk. Yeah. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah. She just
something is
happened.
missing.
Something
is missing.
I don't know. All of a sudden is missing, right?
I don't know if it's all of a sudden. I'm thinking back.
Maybe
and
it has been
my
something.
note has always been like, I just need like
something, just a little edge,
I just need
a little push.
It's not even like an edge. Like I don't need a hardness. Like I think she's perfectly great being like super sweet, and I love super sweet idols. There's just something like I just need her to push it like another 5%, and then it hits. But like every time she does it, I'm like, there's nothing I can critique.
I know.
She does it, like executes it flawlessly. She sounds great. She looks great. I know. She does the moves. Like there's nothing that I can be like, oh, this is the problem.
But now
there's something that I'm like,
but now the producers are calling it out. They're like,
it's that
she's just stable.
Other people just start outshining her during the number.
I know. It's a bummer. Because none of them do poorly in any of these numbers. It's truly just splitting hairs now.
I don't think there's a bad performance of the 12 people that performed today at all. No. I don't think
it's a strong 12.
There's people. Oh, it's very.
This is like 12. the right 12.
There's like definitely notes that I would have and like critiques and like ways they can better themselves, but like I would not have walked out of this as like someone who was in the crowd and been like,
why the fuck
that was
is
a bad
she?
performance.
Yeah,
like,
well,
why
that was
is she
bad.
here?
Yeah, totally.
At their interim check, they talk about the like you aren't understanding the point of the song, and I do agree with that note.
But why did you give them this song for this challenge?
But this doesn't. What's the challenge?
Yeah.
And maybe I just am like not understanding what an all-rounder is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like in my estimation, I equate all-rounder with like triple threat in like musical theater, where it's like you're good at everything you do. Mm-hmm. That is not a position. That's just like if you're called upon to do something, you can do it. All rounder, I feel like, is also like someone who can rap, and I don't know if I would say like these three girls can like if it was all rounder, they would have to sing, rap, and like perform, but that's not the challenge. So I don't know what I don't understand what is happening.
And if not rap, then it's like sing, dance, and like also the song has like the extra performance quality where you do like expressions, like if it's like a. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I feel like it's almost like it's like center is the position, but like
a center strikes you. Like a center catches your attention.
So I guess unless it's like the challenge is for the three of them to see whoever has the most like
star quality or like
whoever grabs your attention the most, which I guess it is technically beauty, but it doesn't feel like that was what was
how it's set up
as the challenge. I think it's a weird challenge.
It's a weird challenge.
I like the concept of the challenge itself, but I think they were like, oh, well, we just need a fourth one. But there's not really a fourth main position in a group.
No.
Even if you are the center, that's like...
I almost wish that they just kept the three and like maybe challenged people to do rap. Like Juwon, Sujung. Who are strong dancers, but like drowned out in the dance challenge. That what if we put them in main rapper, which the main rapper performance is like rap performance. It's rapping, but then also
all of them are performing. Right? Yeah. Well, I guess not vocals. I guess they just stand and sing. What did you think about the performance itself?
I think
Gyuri ate.
I mean, I could watch Gyuri sing all of my favorite girl group songs because they're all like this.
Yes.
It's La Vie en Rose. It's
I think it's Twice. Like she's best at like super bright stuff. Like she still looks so young.
Yes,
she is so young. She like she still has like that little bit of like baby fat. Like she just like you want to like hold her hand and like go get ice cream together. Right. Like she's so incredibly sweet.
But the thing is,
But
like,
she does this so well,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
expecting. And maybe that was the challenge.
Maybe that's the challenge. Could
Because
you-
it's the 3 cute ones, like expand out of your comfort zone. But
Right.
again, that's not.
But then
what was
this
explained to
song
them.
is so weird because the song is like you're doing this brightly, and then you put them in the brightest white and blue with the bubbles. It's like mermaid. And if,
Why are they mermaids?
are they trying to evoke like, okay, you're sirens? Because they were like, it's like cool, like mysteriously sexy. But then it's so bright, like how they designed the
sexy
the
but
song.
relaxed expression was the verbatim.
Then you should not
concept
have
they
made it a
decided
mermaid
upon.
concept. You should have made it like warmer color, warmer tones, like mysterious.
I think the song is good too, but like I don't. I just don't know what they wanted for this.
It feels like
challenge.
they didn't know what they wanted for the all rounders.
And like it's kind of a low key energy song. Like there's a lot going on, but it's like it's more of like a lo-fi sound. Like
Yeah.
it's like chill in that regard.
Right.
I think it's done well.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I don't think it's like a bad performance,
Right.
obviously. As we said, like I don't think there's a bad performance today.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the production wanted from the challenge, so then I was left confused.
Right. Right.
Because it wasn't clear.
It wasn't clear to us. I think Cutie does the best, and I think it's tough.
This is what's crazy.
It's tough. I
So
can't
Sarang
pick.
has the moment where she like
She
cracks on the last like 8th second of the note. Like who cares? But of course they're gonna replay it 3 times.
Yeah.
And I want you to remember that because I'm going to talk about someone later. But they replay it 3 times, but that's her only real issue. She seems like she's really confident today.
She's smiling throughout,
And,
yeah.
and like last week in episode 9
When she cracked, she was done.
she freaked out
Right.
and like messed up. This is like she just keeps going, she keeps barreling on. She's great. Like no issues. She looks great. Her hair looks chef's
I know.
kiss. The waves
I
are
couldn't
perfect.
tell if it had extensions or her hair is just this
if
long.
it were if they probably were extensions genuinely, because I think she has like thinner hair than some of the other girls. But
It was-
unclockable. Ugh, I was obsessed. And then yeah, I need. There's nothing that I can be like, this is the thing, Fuko.
For
it's just
Fuko.
like,
I know.
I just need the. And I'm worried because
I know it. We're at the end.
You got to do it like next week. That's the week you got like poof. I gotta be knocked over.
Because I think she conveys like her earnestness very well. Like
Oh
she
my God,
wants to be on
completely.
that stage. But I don't
think even with Jimin, I think Fuko has the better storyline of like, I want this so
I know,
bad
I
and
know.
I've been
Yeah.
heartbroken before.
Yeah.
Like they've really focused on Jimin's, right? Because she just came off of What Are You Next or whatever. But like I think Fuko's storyline is so much more impressive that she stayed in Korea, she learned full Korean, like
yeah.
she cried with John So-mi in that episode
Right.
8 or whatever. Like I think she has like a great storyline and a great narrative, and she's like everybody's Onni. Like I like her a lot. I just like every time she performs, I'm like, but I'm losing you.
Yeah.
I lose you
I
in.
know.
And at first I was like, oh, maybe it's because she's always been in like bigger groups where there's like 7 of
Right.
them or whatever, and so like you just naturally like lose.
But
them.
no, it's like this,
But
and
now
then
when
think
it's
back
3,
like,
I was
oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
like the
no.
vocal with John, like like
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the main rap performance. So once again, this is Coco and Yuju doing "Spicy" by CL.
It's so funny because they pretty much are the only 2 rappers left in the whole thing.
Yeah, because Yui's gone.
Because Yui's gone.
Yeah.
And so they have this like rivalry, but it's
another rivalry.
but it's way more playful.
So playful,
Way more
so fun.
More playful than I think like Coco and Sabi, because they come from a place of like, well, I want us to both to get in. And I think
Yes.
obviously they want that here too.
Yeah.
But there's something about, because they're the only 2 rappers left, that it's
Yeah.
like, if there's only room for one, I want it to be
This
me.
is the funniest segment of probably any episode so far.
Yeah.
Like their energy is so infectious. They're having
They are bouncing off
they
the
are
walls. They're having fun rehearsing.
which is like of all the 4 groups that performed today,
They were the only ones that got
the-
compliments in interim.
they're the only ones that got compliments in interim, and they are the only ones it feels like that are like, we really need to put on a good performance. Not I have to debut in this group.
Yeah.
Everyone else on this show currently feels like they're just worried about who makes the top
makes it to the
6.
end.
Whereas like for them, it's like we want this main rap battle or whatever to be like the best performance of the day. And
spoiler alert, it is.
And spoiler alert, it's probably the best performance of the show. Genuinely. I mean, it's so good. They're not, they knock it out of the park. They like give critiques to Yuju that I don't even necessarily agree with. And I can't, I don't even know if I can separate.
Because Coco is so out of this world when she's on stage.
Fully different person.
That it's fully like it. We're not saying you're bad, Yuju, but it's like it's so hard to compete against Coco.
Yes, she is at a level.
It's crazy how talented this girl is.
I can't. Every time Coco is on screen, I am giggling or I am like impressed.
And like, at Iland, she's like cracking jokes with Sabi and G-Man.
She's not crying
She's not crying. She's teaching them how to be bad girls.
Yeah.
Like
she comes in at that one point when they're talking about the term mirage and they're like, what's a mirage?
And Coco's like, I don't know.
I don't even know what that word is. I mean, she's constantly funny. She's like, but not in a way where it feels like she's putting on like a goofy energy.
Or it's not like I'm aloof and that's her charm. Like it's not like a Myunghyun or like a whatever.
Right,
you know?
Right.
She's like, no, I know, but I'm leaning into that like that I'm a goof.
Yeah. There is like we've said it before, but there is like a Ling Chi thing with her where it's like the charm is that she's a little fish out of water, but like is still exceeding and still doing better than everyone.
Yeah.
They were the most prepared for the interim. That was their critique, and that's not even a critique. And then it's just them having fun and getting ready for the performance.
Yes, because like Yuju is like, Coco's the better dancer, so I can't compete with you. And Coco's like, but you're the better rapper. I can't compete with you. And they kind of just like
they do this bit where
everything you can do, I could do better.
Yuju's like, oh, my left side's my good side. And Coco's like, well, my left side's my good side. So she's like, well, let's just keep the choreo as it is. So then she...
But Coco fully was like, no, wait a minute.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I wish they're having fun creating the performance, which I think that's not... Everyone is always so stressed when it comes to the performance.
There is one other duet that it performs in this episode. And...
no fun.
There's and it. If I Were a Boy is not a song that's like here we're gonna come out.
We're
and
gonna
have a but there is a chemistry that Coco and Yuju have that I felt like when I watched it, I was like, I can't even. I objectively can look at this and be like, Coco did a better job than Yuju, but because they were so chemically linked in this song, like I was like, just put both of them in the
whole performance.
Like both of them excelled because they were so entwined in what the other was doing. The other one I cannot say the same about, and I'm not saying that they were bad. I just like you can tell that these two had fun while they did this process. My note was sisterhood. Yeah.
It's Coco, obviously. What are we talking
I don't even
about?
know.
She came out in this like tight and top and then pants.
The pants.
I only want to see Coco in pants. I am so sorry.
Pants. Her legs are 7 miles long.
Mile long.
I can't. Her in pants.
Coco in pants.
Coco invented pants.
Pants were created for her. Pants were created in order to
serve Coco. Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. Unfortunately, they have yet again put Yuju in a horrendous costume.
Frumpy, oversized
The only time Yuju has ever looked incredible was in the creative performance.
Motorcycle.
Yes.
And she was wearing fucking knee pads.
Yes.
Like, it was an ugly costume, but she looked the best in it because of the fucking wind blowing in her hair. They keep doing this.
This is like a skirt with a big like t-shirt. They
keep putting Yuju in the worst clothes.
I'm very confused.
I think it's rigor mortis, girl. I think it's rigor mortis. They don't like Yuju, but she keeps doing well. I don't know. That's my tinfoil hat. Because she also has been in a survival show 3 times. She's Alexis Mateo. This is her 3rd time doing this.
I forgot about that, yeah.
But they don't talk about it because the better story is Jimin and then Fuko and then her.
Yeah.
You know?
And then that one.
Ugh, but she...
This performance is so fucking good. I was so mad the whole time. I was like...
The lyrics were so funny. They were like, you're looking at the hottest Asians. And I was like...
I am looking at the hottest Asians. You're right.
You're correct.
So main dance is next. So main dance, as we remember, is Money by Lisa, and it's Soojung, Juwon, Mai, Jimin, Sabi. Soojung out the gate is like, I'm gonna blow everybody else out of the fucking water.
Eat this up, and you bitches.
Oh, Soojung. What happened in part 2?
What happened?
What's happening in part 2? What happens to the human brain when they hear this is now an individual competition?
Challenge. They become different people. Sarang has crumbled, and Soojung has become like a Greek tragic hero.
I am watching
someone be like fully be overcome by hubris.
In real time. Yes. Antigone, bitch.
Every reaction is like, this is fucking easy.
And she keeps not winning. And I'm like,
and she's so you're
but
like,
she's not figuring like,
girl, what's happening?
This challenge is made for her. So in her defense, I understand where she's like, I was on Street Woman Fighter.
Her and Juwon both. Yeah, like, oh yeah. We should have fucking aced this.
Yes. And I think they're very good in this.
Yeah. But that's not who we're interested in. The story is...
But you can't... I would maybe think before you just go out and be like, oh, even if I'm part 5, I'm going to stand out against everybody else. I just maybe wouldn't say that. I think it's okay to think. I think it's okay when you're in the shower to be like... I think you're like brushing your teeth before you go to bed and you're like you tell yourself. Yeah.
5.
I think that's great. I just maybe wouldn't do it where 100,000 cameras are watching you and trying to
or say it in a talking head because they will use it.
Yeah, I just wouldn't say it at all. Probably. That's just me. Maybe just a note for next time. Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't need it next time. I don't know. I don't know who's in this group. But it's not looking good so far. I'm very nervous.
Very nervous. They get tore up.
Jimin and Sabi are not street dance girlies.
They're not street women fighters.
No.
They're
idols. They're classic idols.
They are path girly lovers.
So they have a real hard time with like getting the choreography and like kind of exuding the
bad
bravado, the machismo that is the like song.
Yes, where the song is like, I'm literally throwing money because I can. That's it.
Yes. And as someone who was not a bad boy growing up, this would be very hard for me to do.
As rule followers, I get it. But it's that thing of like, because it happened a lot. It happens a lot in like acting. Like you still want to be likable when you're performing an unlikable character or like a villain.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you have to throw that away.
No.
You are in character.
Yeah.
I can see why Jimin was having a hard time. I was actually shocked that Sabi was having a hard time because I kind of thought that like, oh, like she's very expressive. Like she has the best faces in performing. So I was like, oh, maybe she could understand it. But no, it's like, it's such a foreign concept.
Yeah. But I also think like the style of dance too is just harder than anything they've done so far.
Totally.
I think the best note they get in the interim is like, you're too worried about being pretty.
Yeah.
Just put all of that away. And that is like, if there's one thing that always, when I watch girl group stuff, I am so aware that they're aware that like, they need I have to look pretty.
Even in like variety stuff.
One thing.
Yeah.
Where
They
I
can't,
don't,
like-
I think boys have it 10% less. I
Totally.
think they're also
They're
still
there,
very aware of
but
it.
they're able to get away with, and like it's not
And
until
that's
you.
and I'll be honest, that is fully misogyny.
That's misogyny, but
because we expect women.
because it's like the personalities I feel like come out of girl groups when it's like they get to like G-idol level. Like they're like, I have clout now that I can
Yes.
be a little bit more myself
Right.
and like say what I want to say.
Right.
You know.
And even then, there's still with
kind of
G-idol,
like.
there's like people constantly are like,
But that's the thing. Yes,
mm-hmm.
you are immediately open to scrutiny, and people will scrutinize you because once again, misogyny. Like
in a way that
it's like it's just
so,
not.
It's so gross.
So I totally understand it, but I do like that. I mean, it helps that like Lee Jung and Monica are giving this feedback because it's
Right.
like, girl, this is what we do. Like,
right.
You have to let that go.
Right. It doesn't go well. They say it's school club level, the interim check. I'm at a point where I'm really tired of the interim checks, even though in this exact episode, Coco and Yuju do so well that they kind of put my theory of like the interim checks never go well to bed. But Coco and Yuju are an outlier and should not be counted in the data set, to be honest. It always is going to go this way because narratively you have to build that they get better from the time they have the interim to whatever. So even if there's like, even if they have critiques that are like, oh, but this was done well or whatever, I feel like they show those less just because it's better. It's a better story to show them like at a low point to get to a high point.
Yeah.
Because it makes it that much sweeter. It's just that there's been a lot of them in this season.
know.
And I'm like, and we're binging it, which is...
Yes, and it feels like it's the same beat every time. Like, oh, that just wasn't very good. Yeah.
Yeah, we learned it 36 hours ago. Yes, correct. Coco gives them bad girl lessons. The tall girls.
There is a tall girl alliance.
Yes.
It's just like his man. The smokers outside, and then the tall girls in room one.
Mm-hmm. And that's fun. I like that. I like all of this. What do you think of this performance?
I think this is Jimin's best performance.
I agree.
I think I've always, up to this point, I've been like, okay, Jimin's really only here because of... I mean, she's very talented. She's very beautiful.
I know. You... Careful.
She's very talented. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Gowns, beautiful gowns. Very popular. The story is written for her.
Yeah.
Almost of like...
She's got a great narrative.
This is her last chance. Otherwise, she's going to turn into a maid.
This 16-year-old is going to become a hag in a week if she doesn't make it.
Yeah, if she doesn't make it.
Okay.
This performance was like, oh, she can do a different concept. She can learn to do it. And she basically like...
And she never... The one thing I will say... Not the one thing, but like one of the things that always impresses me about Jimin is like... We have watched her struggle a few times on the show.
Yeah.
And whenever we get to the performance... it's gone.
It's gone.
Even if
she knows when to do it.
She internally is like still nervous about it, it does
show.
not show up
She
at all.
knows when she's on that stage, it's time to like just be on performance mode.
Yeah.
Which I do think now makes sense why she always struggles in the interim. Because I think she really uses all of her time to like practice to get at it. She doesn't. It's it's like it's marking. Like you have to mark until you know when to do it in the performance.
Yeah.
Now I understand from a trainer or a coach perspective, like that's frustrating. I don't want to watch you mark, but I think that's her way of accessing it, and I don't fault her for it because she looks fucking great in the performance.
Yeah. This is definitely her best performance.
This is her best performance. I think she did the best. She was my favorite.
She was my fairite of the group. But I think she had an advantage by having a solo.
But I think this part one is weighed heavily on, weighs more on the performance. The part one has more to do.
100%. 100%. What's going on with Mai?
What happened to Mai?
This is another
one. Once again, part two. The confidence just disappeared, just crashed in part two.
Know. And it's really bumming me out because she's so good.
She's kind of my PO1. But like she's kind of my PM1. I'm so into right now. Part 2, not a dent. Nothing. Like she has the saboteurs, the inner saboteurs.
It's like the retreating
everyone is
into
retreating
themselves.
in. Sarang Mai specifically.
Those two specifically, for sure.
Jungwon a little bit too.
Mai's critique that she got in the self-evaluation, what was it, in the last week's performance? She was told like, "Oh, you're just focusing too much on like your faces." Like it's insinuated the only reason she got to part 2 is because of the faces. It's because
she's the faces, and like Lee Jung was like. And I think, too, in this challenge, it's really testing her ability because now she's in a main dance challenge.
Yep.
Which previously, in part 1, they kept putting her in the smallest parts, but made a big impact.
A huge impact.
So like, Lee Jung was like, you know, people might say, like, that's the only reason why you're here. But, like, you can switch that around and be like, yes, and I'm here. Like, that,
right. And where
that
are you?
is my skill
and where
that got me here. Like that should be. That's
and
like
also that's the attitude that you should just have for the song in general. Like that's the attitude.
Yes,
that
like
money
for money. Like
is,
I am rich.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I can do this.
Yeah.
But like,
she's also getting bad costumes too, though. It's really frustrating me.
The inconsistency.
Yeah.
But like she still looks really unsure. That was my big thing.
I think she's the weakest one in this.
Yeah, me too. She looked really unsure in money.
It really sucks to say.
Because she looks like she's pretending.
She has definitely the least. It feels like she's the least to do.
Yeah.
Of everyone. She comes out and almost every time she has a line in the song where she's in the center, it feels like it's like one moment and then she transitions out immediately. She's
transitioning.
Like, it's so weird how the choreo.
The line doesn't even finish. She's walking away to finish her line, and then another person's already in the center.
Can I say? Let me talk about Sabi as a Coco Sabi PO1's person. Sabi, I don't think this is her best performance.
I don't think so either.
My biggest struggle.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, totally. Sure. Great.
But I could, like I could still see like her being unsure.
There is a level of this performance that I don't usually feel when they do concepts. Usually I'm like, oh, they're doing a concept. Mm-hmm. Something about this performance felt like they were putting on a costume.
Yeah.
And not in a way, and maybe it's because there was so much talk about how like this isn't us, like we're not bad girls, blah blah blah, and maybe that influenced like my view of the performance.
Yeah.
But I felt like I don't think you need to like. I think like I'm a person who enjoyed when TXT did Good Boy Gone Bad, right? Like a song of 5 guys who have never been bad a day in their lives and trying to be bad. Like I think that's fine. But with them, I just felt like it was like they were so out of their comfort zone that it like kind of made me uncomfortable because I could tell, even though they were like executing it well,
they were putting on.
It was just such a facade, and I was like, I mean, okay. And that's fine. And they're not Lisa. And this song is so Lisa.
I think that might be the thing too, because it's Lisa.
Yeah.
You hear Lisa songs and you're like, Lisa can do this.
Only. I think Juwon is the second best in this number. I'll be really honest. I think she's really good in this.
Yeah, I think she does better than Sujong.
And it's crazy to me that she has no screen time.
They did not cut to her a single time this episode. Not a single time.
She doesn't talk on camera. She has no talking head. Anytime she's in the center in this performance, it's a wide shot of all of them. The editing of this performance is complete garbage.
Yes,
it's probably the worst editing on the show so far.
Yeah.
It's just the whole thing is frenzied. They cut to like way more reaction shots of the crowd than they usually do.
I'm like,
as if
it's
they're
a dance performance. Why are we?
As if they're trying to emphasize like this is what how you're supposed to be reacting. And I'm like, but mama girl, I'm not feeling that. And like I'm sure it felt different in the room.
If I watched the full performance, sure.
But or was in the room.
Yeah.
With fire or whatever.
Yes.
Or no, they didn't have the fire.
No,
they had the
that's
yeah.
That's spicy.
But like,
but also like because I know people might be like, well, yeah, if you watch the full performance, you'll get it. I'm like, but as a viewer, I shouldn't have to seek out additional content to be like, oh, okay, now then I'll, you know what I mean?
I'm fine with
I mean, they can't show everything, obviously.
I understand that reality shows have a narrative that they're trying to sell you, right? Like when I watch Drag Race and it's clear that they're like, well,
this person's going home, so let's show.
This person's going home, so let's show the other person lip syncing, blah, blah, blah. It's fine because I trust that I wasn't in the room. Like I trust that like they're making decisions that make the most sense
because they have the whole show.
They have the whole show. They have the fine. I don't begrudge them. It's their show. Like I don't whatever. I don't get as upset about it as some people do, and I think it's fine if it really bothers you because it is taking something that we are trying to say. You're trying to say this is reality, and it's not reality,
right?
I just buy that it's not reality, and then I feel better about it.
Yeah.
This pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, there was something just in the way that they kept being like, everyone was so, like, they were like, wow, Jima, wow, say, like, just kept being like, wow, wow, wow. And then Soojung has one moment in the center, and Monica goes, oh, it's so messy. And I know that they have very different standards for Soojung than all the 11 other girls on that show. It is very weird, and it is very clear that they, I don't want to say don't want her in this group, but they
are trying to be like, you don't really want to be an idol. You don't really want to do this.
Right.
You're a dancer.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
It's very strange. I don't think Soojung is the best in the song. I think she's probably in the middle.
Yeah, she's like the most stable in here.
Right.
But I also feel like she might be like, well, I can see that Maya's not doing well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Also, it's a small part, so I don't think you can do a lot.
I think there is a level.
That's crazy. We sound like tinfoil girlies right now.
And we never do. We never do this.
For some reason,
this episode specifically, I'm like, I'm seeing the narratives written out.
They're
it's
like
very
rushing
weird.
To get a narrative out. I feel like.
Yeah, I didn't like that hand movement.
I'll blur that out. No, I feel like they're rushing to be like, oh, this is how you should know all of these people before you start voting.
Yes.
And I'm like, we've already seen.
I'm gonna say something controversial. This is more frustrating to me than when Hanbin got kicked off of Iland 1.
the blatant Juwon Soojung.
The blatant, like, because the Hanbin of it all, because it was up to the producers, I feel like I just accepted that it was like, whatever, they're going to pick whoever
they want.
It's that they're clearly trying to sway the audience into thinking so that they vote accordingly. Yeah. That's what's really frustrating me about this. I think Soojung is good. I don't think she's bad. I think she's not as great in part 2, and she's a little bit getting in her own way with her own pride.
Overconfidence.
Overconfidence. I think if she was probably, this is going to sound shitty, but I feel like if she was like 6 inches taller, everyone would be voting for her.
Everyone would not have a problem.
There is like something about because she's short. I feel like people are like, oh, well, she's not whatever.
Yeah.
And it is hard. You have Sabi and
Jimin and Coco who are towering over everybody.
Yes. And they look more the idol type.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially the Mnet survival show idols who are like visuals. I mean, that's the thing.
Monica said it. Monica's first note to Soojung, the beginning of the show, was, this is going to be harsh feedback, but you got to find a way to make yourself taller on stage.
Yeah. But I like how short she is.
I think
she has such a power in her.
It's like she's like a little dynamite, like a stick of dynamite.
Yes.
Her and Juwon.
I almost wish she would like learn to rap, because I think that could be her superpower. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I was like. If they were challenged, if her and Juwon were challenged to rap, then they'd be like, oh, then their attitude.
I think it's very interesting that they are having a similar narrative right now, and they're both like the 2 shortest people on the show.
I know.
Yuri is also short, but she's cute.
She's doing bright, so she gets a pass.
It's really fascinating.
The psychology.
But I feel like this is like how it is with girl group stuff, where they're so put in boxes more harshly.
More so than guys.
They are packaged in their little box.
Obviously, you package the guys too.
100%.
Because of just the standards that we have for women.
Yeah.
That also goes into it. Women.
Let's talk about the final performance, which is main vocal. This is Jiyoon and Dongwon.
Literally, we are 55 minutes in, and now we can probably spend another 55 minutes just talking about these two because
the evil has been defeated. And by that, I mean the tension. Has it been?
I don't know. It doesn't feel resolved.
It doesn't really feel resolved.
It feels like
they definitely addressed it.
They have addressed it,
great.
and it's the first step.
They're better. Right.
Into recovery.
They're doing If I Were Boy by Beyonce. They do not practice together at all.
They don't
show
know the
up
words.
to interim. They don't know the words. Now, to be fair,
it's all English.
This is all English, and I am fairly confident they've never heard the song in their lives. Or like they've heard it once or twice.
Yes, once or twice. Jiyoon looked very excited, so I think she did know.
Jiyoon looked excited when they were playing the song.
Because it's soulful.
It's so her.
It's so her
especially
voice.
the beginning is so Jiyoon.
But Jungin has the high notes.
Jungin has the belt. Yeah, for sure. They get to interim. They don't know the words. Everybody's really mad. Blah, 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 blah. Finally, and it's like after days,
I swear to God, we all know the Haobin movie. Someone has to make a Jung and Jiyoon movie.
Yes,
of every moment,
and it'll be the opposite.
It'll be drama.
Yes,
honey. Meryl Streep.
So we flash back to where it all started, which was. She gets taken out of main vocal. She gets taken out of main vocal. They still are good.
They're still okay. They amend.
Yes,
but because she gets no votes,
she was the only person who voted for herself. She felt like Jungin stabbed her in the back because of that.
Because she was like, if anyone would vote for me, I know it'd be Jungin.
Yes, which we incorrectly assumed it was because she got kicked out of main vocal. It was really the specific thing of the voting. That was what she was most upset about. Right. Which technically we would have known. I mean, fine.
Sure.
Okay. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
Here's some new lore to add to the mystery. Last week they showed when Jiyoon was talking to Fuko and was like, I just felt like we could have been close and whatever. We aren't close anymore. This is Jiyoon and Fuko in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Okay, in the bedroom.
Yes, Jiyoon being like, I thought
we could have been a lot
closer, but I can't talk to her.
Yeah. We find out that months ago, right? Because they had a whole month off or whatever.
Yeah.
Months ago, Jungin and Fuko, Jungin broke down.
Preparing for their vocal. Well, I actually don't know what week this was, or if this was in part 2 already.
Week this was.
But you see,
I think it was part 1.
I don't know because
I don't know.
Or at the end of part 1 when Jiyoon's already there.
Yeah.
Because Jungin is like, she is ignoring just me.
Yes.
Jiyoon is ignoring just me, and I feel it. And she cries to Fuko because it's like, I know she's close to you. Is there anything you can do to talk to her to find out why?
It's crazy. I mean, she fully breaks down.
And at that moment, I was like,
I think it's fascinating that they held that until this.
Until now, I know, because I think if they showed it in real time, I think that would have fully tipped to the scales.
I don't know
because I didn't watch it live. I don't know.
It's just weird that they didn't show that when it happened because it's a huge addition to the lore.
Yes. It just reminded me that John is still 16. She is so impressionable. They are all young.
The oldest people on the show are 19 years old.
Mama, if that was when we were freshmen in college, I still didn't know anything, girl.
It's crazy to me. So
Jiyoon is staring up at Jung in and she basically decides to it's finally time to do this.
It's time.
She stomps her way up and she's like, Jungin, let's talk. They finally talk. And it starts. They sit down. Jungin kind of scooches away because she doesn't want to make it uncomfortable for Jiyoon for being too close. And then Jiyoon goes, I'm sorry.
Well, first they bleep it, which is an insane choice because You could, I mean, who knows, right?
The reaction Adam and I were like, because they bleeped it, she could have been like, fuck off.
You're a bitch. That's not what she said. She really is like putting her best foot forward in part 2. She's really making, I mean, she is.
It's Raja O'Hare. I mean,
the narrative that this woman is giving on the show.
Bitch.
This is Ji-yoon : Iland 2 : NA. That's what this show is. It's great.
She is fully, she's like, I just apologize. Like, I have carried that with me and have led that to how I've been treating you. And I know that's not right.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sorry. And it's very interesting because Jungwon doesn't, it's not like she apologizes also. At least we don't see it. Because it's very clear that, like, Ji-yoon has been the one doing it, like, purposefully.
Yes, I don't think Jungwon has anything to apologize for. Really, at the end of the day, she didn't pick Ji-yoon, and just like how I don't blame Nikki for not picking Taki.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he picked Taki. It was the opposite.
Yes,
there.
opposite. Yeah.
But he picked Taki to go. Like, I don't. It's just people engaging with the best decision they have at the time. Idols spend their time as trainees, like judging each other and like making assumption and like
and like they gave feedback to her.
Yeah.
If you really want to go back, they gave her feedback that she did not do well. Mm-hmm. They gave feedback to Taki that he was not ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
This is not Iland 2 best friend race.
It's not. So they sort of bury it.
They bury the hatchet enough that they can at least work together. Because that's the thing. They couldn't even be in the same practice room together.
Mm-hmm. This is what I want to talk about with this. More than that, to be honest. June is struggling with the high note. There is a specific part of If I Were a Boy. When they're working with Jaehwan, she is trying to hit the "You don't care how it hurts," and
he does the just yell it,
just scream it,
just like you're calling for someone.
Yeah.
And
they do the whole thing. Great. They spend so much time on it. When it finally gets to the song, she hits the same note in the first part when she says,
and that's what they edit as like she did it.
She did it. When she gets to the actual part that she had been working on with Jaehwan, which is at
the end,
that part, she throws it. She just like stays. She remains on the note.
Yeah, she's.
You don't care how it hurts.
Yeah,
which is fine. If it was any other performer on this show, they would have done the Mnet, show it 3 times, cut to 24, being like. Like, they would have done the whole thing. Yeah. But because they had this narrative of Ji-yoon has to do well, she's overcome this hurdle. And she sounds good on the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm not, this is not her best vocal performance. I actually think.
It's still, I think
it's still ear, nose, and throat.
Oh, really? I still think it's, Nega change.
I still think ear, nose, and throat is her best performance, but. I know it's not yours. Eyes, tears, and mouth. Eyes, nose,
ears, nose,
and throat.
Yeah, it's ears, nose. It's an ENT. ENT specialist.
I just think it's interesting, but I do think she's really good in the song.
Yeah,
and I do think she's better than Jungwon in the song.
Yeah, because Jungwon is stable. That's what they say, and she has the high notes, but it's lacking the color. It's lacking the.
She doesn't have the emotive.
She's not emotively singing, which, like, I mean, you see, Ji-yoon, like, this is her artistry. Like, this is what 100%. She's passionate about.
It's so good. Yeah. She's so good at singing, at genuinely putting all of her emotions into what she's singing.
I know, it's made me want to sing again.
Okay.
If I were a boy, even just for a day.
So those are the performances. Which one is your favorite performance? Main dance. Main rap, I'm sorry. Main rap.
Which one was what was your favorite performance? Main rap.
Main rap.
Oh, so, yeah, then yes, main rap. I mean, genuinely main rap. I mean, if I got to pick a favorite performance, like a singular performance of a person,
one person?
it's Gyuri. Because she has she
know.
literally, I will pay for a Kim Gyuri world tour
I know.
so that she could just perform twice. She could perform La Vie en Rose,
Yes.
and she'll perform this song. Just these 3 songs. I love her so much. I don't think she's gonna make it, but I'm putting it all on Gyuri.
Here are I'm not going to go into the...
Just order it. Just give the 12 the final rank.
Well, I wanted to say who the producers were. So for all-rounder, it was Gyuri Sarang Fuko.
Mm-hmm.
For main vocal, it was Jiyoon Jungwon.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
This is in order, by the way,
Yeah.
top to bottom. Main dance was Jimin, Sabi, and then the other 3 all tied.
I disagree. I think it should
I
be...
strongly disagree.
Yeah. I think... Yeah.
And then main rap is Coco Yuju.
I agree.
Okay. Here, with all scores combined.
At the end of episode 10, who is in the group and who is not?
From 12 to 1, Sujung, Juwon, Tongun, Mai, Yuju, Sabi.
Wow.
6 is Sarang, 5 is Gyuri, 4 is Fuko, 3 is Jiyoon, 2 is Jimin, and 1 is Coco.
If Coco is Pia 1, I am going to scream.
I won't know what to do if that happens. If it's Coco or Sabi, I will be celebrating in the streets.
And people are like, Diva.
This was months ago. Months ago this happened. Is this a 6 that you would... Coco, Jimin, Jiyoon, Fuko, Gyuri, Sarang? Something feels incomplete about that 6 to me. I don't think there's like a bad performer in that 6. But that is not a 6 that gets me excited. Does that make sense?
Is it a specific person or just the makeup of it?
I don't know. I think it's the makeup. I think it's the beat.
I think it's the beat. Give me that beat. It feels weird. It feels wrong to not have Mai in this. To me. More so than Jungwon. Because Mai is Mai gives the extra oomph.
Yeah.
That like, this is a group to look out for.
6 is such a small number.
6 is small. Which is so crazy because 8 feels too much.
Yeah.
For girls. 8 feels a lot for girls for some reason. I almost feel like, what if it was just 5?
So we just said 6 is...
6 is... But then if you make it even smaller, like 5, then it's like, then I need one of everything. And then at least it's like, there's no like loosey-goosey, like, well, this person is an all-rounder or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they're all all-rounders.
Mm-hmm.
They're all all-rounders. But then you give me like a Coco, a Jimin, a Jiyoon, a Gyuri.
I think Sarang being in the 6 bothers me.
I know, I think so too, because I think she needs to work on her confidence.
I know.
She's so talented, but she wears her lack of confidence in her face so clearly that you can see from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're making a group, they need to look
a survival
larger
show
than
group
life.
that's gonna like debut in like 2 months after the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's why I feel like if it was a 5, then it would be like Coco, Jimin, Jiyoon, Gyuri, Mai. They all feel like there's something individually, like very La Seraphim. Like there's something individually striking about each one.
Yeah.
But
cohesively they work.
cohesively, like there's something special there.
Yeah.
So that might be my pick. That might be my top 5.
Right, but you have to do a 6.
Okay. Then I'll add Jung in there.
Okay.
That's my 6.
My 6 is Coco Sabi. They split PO1. It's a tie.
It's a tie.
Okay. Coco Sabi. Jiyoon. Coco Sabi, Jiyoon Fuko, Mai Juwon. I still think Juwon is really good.
I still think, yeah, Juwon is.
I think Juwon is, especially for like a dance. I just like, I think she's really good.
Yeah.
That was really hard to pick.
This is.
I tried to do a 6 that was like made sense. Like
That
if you looked at them and they
see-
all have different
Yes,
asks, they fill
yeah.
in what the others don't
Yeah.
have.
I'm shocked how hard this is for us.
This is
I did not. I
because like
expected
in
this.
hype and like we weren't we watched it
weren't
knowing
watching-
everything,
yes,
so
I
there
know.
wasn't really a way for us to be like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I could make a case for probably anyone on this list
Yeah.
to be in this group.
Totally. You could make a million types of groups.
A million formations. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This next episode is 3 hours and 15 minutes. The final episode is 3 hours and 45 minutes.
That's crazy. Still not as long as The Irishman.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.